Hello, my good Judies. Hello, my friends. How's it going? We're so back, baby. We're so back. It's only been a month. It hasn't been that long. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, this is my podcast. I'm B. I make stuff. I mostly knit, but I have recently been into other things such as quilting and sewing and whittling. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll show that. Maybe I won't. But hi, it's it's good to see you. We're back. We're the same as ever, same as we ever were, same as it ever was, same as it ever was. And I have a lot to share with you today. And the Make or Be podcast. I'm coming to you from Northeast North America, Turtle Island, also known as Chibuktuk, Mi'kma'ki, Nova Scotia, Halifax. Lots of names for where I am. And yeah, it's the end of April. I have had a lot of life changes recently. I've spent a lot of time crafting. I recently closed my business. I owned a consignment shop, so like a secondhand clothing store where people would sell me clothes and I would sell them. And I had that for 6 years, and I closed that at the beginning of April because it just wasn't serving me anymore. I didn't actually like clothes that much anymore, especially vintage. So I decided to change it up. And I was feeling really burnt out, and I still am feeling really burnt out. I feel like I'm still kind of recovering from burnout. And that's okay. I'm doing it. We're getting there. And that's fine. And I'm making stuff through my burnout. I'm making stuff. Today I'm wearing my very easy, fun, and cool bandana. This is my pattern. It was on sale on Ravelry for a while, but now it's just free. Yeah, if you want to buy it, go ahead. Not buy it. If you want to download it for free, go ahead. It's a free pattern. It's a bandana. It's a triangle in the back, but I'm not trying to sell anything, so I'm not going to take it off. And I'm wearing a jumpsuit. And I wore a jumpsuit because I really wanted to show off. I definitely wasn't planning to show off my cool new tattoos. I definitely didn't want people to look at my cool new tattoos and tell me how cool they were. That wasn't my plan at all. I swear to you. Yeah, so what's been with me? I haven't been doing a whole lot. I have been exhausted, trying to figure out my health a little bit, going to appointments, and going to the gym, and preparing for spring. It's coming way too fast, in my opinion. I've also been reading a lot of books. I think I'm at like 35 books this year. I listen to audiobooks while I do stuff, so that's part of it. But I finished the entire ACOTAR series, Wild Ride. I kind of loved it, I'll be honest. I love to be a hater, but couldn't be a hater there. So what have I been working on? What have I been doing? I'm going to start with acquisitions because in my opinion that's like the most boring thing in the whole wide world. So what I did acquire was my buddies and I went up to Cape Breton for a nice little craft weekend, and I learned how to do some stuff, and we shared a lot of space, we did a lot of knitting together. It was awesome. But on the way up, I brought my cat Elton, and what happens usually is that we stop in Tatamagouche to go to Sisterhood Fibers. And I've brought him in Sisterhood Fibers before with no problems. But this time I brought him in, and he was acting an absolute fool. Like, he was causing problems. He was jumping on things. He usually just, like, sticks by my side and lays down. Like, he's very good in public. And he needs to get out of the car and stretch. Like, he gets pretty motion sick. I know I sound like a wild person with, like, talking about my cat, but he gets motion sick, so he has to have a break. So I usually go into the yarn store on the way up to Cape Breton. It's a 3-hour drive, so break up the drive and, like, let him walk around a little bit. And yeah, so we did that, but he was acting a fool. So I felt like I had to buy something to be like, I'm sorry my cat's being such a destructive little turd. So I bought something. This is my first Noro yarn. I've heard people talk like so many good things about Noro yarn. I was a little hesitant because of the polyamide. Usually not a fan, but I really love the color flex in this one. I've been eyeing it for a while, so I picked it up. There's a huge discrepancy between skeins though, so I'm gonna have to be really careful about like switching colors. But yeah, so it's TW10, I believe, is the, yeah. Oh, 2 different lots, that's my problem. Oh my god. We're realizing in real time here that I didn't check my lots. Oh no, this one is marked as TW10 as well. I gotta investigate here. What's going on? Oh no, same lot. It's the same lot. We're okay, it's the same lot. It's just vastly different colors. So I got 4 balls of this, hoping to make a little spring sweater. I'm not sure what though. I don't want it to sit on my stash too long. This is my first yarn purchase of 2024. I'm not buying yarn because I have enough. And also I'm going to 2 festivals this year. I'm going to Knit City in May and also Rhinebeck in October. So I want to save my money for spending there. And also I've been buying fabric for sewing because I just wanted to sew stuff, okay? So don't mind me. I've been buying a lot of fabric, so I'm avoiding buying yarn because I am making less stuff with yarn. And also because I'm being really good and I'm saving my money for the yarn festivals. For sure. Yeah. So that's my first yarn purchase. And I want to get it out of my stash pretty quickly so I can feel good about it. I don't want it to sit in my stash. When things have sat for like a year in my stash, I get a bit antsy. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if this is, I feel really guilty about it because I don't want to be an overconsumer, and I'm always terrified that I'm an overconsumer. I'm terrified of overconsumption. It's like the classic ADHD impulse purchasing that I try not to feel guilty about, but I do sometimes. So I try to get that under control. And I've been really good about not buying stuff and not spending money. It's also like saving money is good for your future. And also I'm unemployed now that I've quit my job and closed my business. So there's that as well. So it's the balancing act, right? So I did buy yarn for the first time. I'm gonna hopefully have no plans for it. I went down a deep rabbit hole of Ravelry trying to find a pattern that I liked, but I could not find a pattern that I liked. So I'm hoping one will magically bonk me over the head. I might just make a cozy classic raglan with it. I like my cozy classic raglan a lot, and I made it in 2018, or sorry, 2019. No, 2020. I made it in 2020. So it's 4 years old, and I want another one. And I'll wear it, so there you go. Those are my acquisitions. Oh, I also I joined my Spinners and Weavers Guild here in Atlantic, Canada, and I went to the first meeting, and there they had a sale going on, so I was actually able to buy hand carders, which I've been using to card the fleece that my friends gave me last fall. The fleece has just been sitting in our apartment, stinking up the joint. Zoe really puts up with a lot, I think, in that way. Like, she deals with a lot. It's been smelling like sheep in the studio the entire fall, and she said nothing because she's an angel. So is my partner. But yeah, so I've been using the hand carders to card the wool. It's still pretty lanolin-y. I didn't get the lanolin off well enough, so I didn't wash the whole thing. I'm just doing it in pieces. But yeah, it's a mystery sheep and a mystery wool, so we're not sure what it is, but I just tried a little bit on the spindle last night. Let's hide my face and see if it'll focus. Yeah. But it's very lanolin-y, so I'm going to have to wash it better, I think. I was scared to put it in too high of a temperature when I was washing my fleece because, you know, I guess if it felts, so you're like, it felts, I can't ruin the sheep, so. But I think I gotta put the temperature up a bit higher and wash it a few more times. I was just so excited to try it out, you know? So I got hand carders, and that's about it. Those are the things I purchased, plus some fabric, but I'm not gonna show, like, stacks of fabric I bought. I feel like that's ridiculous. And a lot of it's thrifted, so you can't, like, get it yourself. Oof. I'm drinking a combination bottled green tea drink that is very sweet with a ginger seltzer mixed in there. Delicious. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I love ginger ale, but it's always too sweet for me. Perfect. Perfect combo. Yeah. Okay, works in progress. I have quite a few. I feel like I'm making a bunch of stuff right now. It's been a month, so of course I'm making a bunch of stuff. But what I have to show you is when we were up in Cape Breton, my buddy Kate basically forgot most of her knitting. So she needed to work on something. So she did the ribbing of this sweater for me, and I haven't touched it since, actually. It's just been sitting in here. I did say that I would show you the body of this Stripe Hype sweater by Veronica Lindberg. I showed you the body finish in the next podcast. So here we are in the next podcast with the body finished. I was a little worried that Kate's tension might be different than mine, but guess what? It's only ribbing, so it's okay. So yeah, this is my hand spun with my Rhinebeck yarn by Forge. The Rhinebeck yarn is Forge and Sew Sport Weight. You can see my hand spuns all in there. And it's really cool because the colors I picked for the stripes are like all in the yarn. I think it's going to look really fun. I think all of the other sweaters of this pattern I've seen look very like clean girl aesthetic. Like very like, I have a corporate job and here's my stripy sweater. I'm going on a boat. I'm going on a yacht. And this looks a bit more me. So I was a little bit worried it would be a little bit like clean cut and like, bah, I am so fancy and off to my job in Rockefeller Center. I don't know. But this looks more me for sure. It's very, the hand spun kind of breaks up that feeling, I think, and makes it something that I'll actually wear. So it's great. It's a drop shoulder pattern. The construction is very, very basic, I think. The fit so far has been pretty good. It's definitely an oversized fit. And I'm pretty happy with it. I was a little worried the neck would be too big, but I think it'll be okay when it has the, what's it called? Ribbing. There you go. And yeah, I've just been really into making sweaters recently. Not to get controversial. Spring, baby. This will be done next podcast. I don't guarantee it, but it'll be done. The next finished object I have, oh, not fit, work in progress I have to show you. So I've been working on socks that I just have like the ribbing done for. That's not interesting. You don't want to see that. I've also cast on the ribbing of the neckline for my rumble raglan. I don't like it though. I don't like the yarn that I have, so I might switch it up and do a different yarn. But the yarn that I had picked out was for my Rhinebeck yarn that I wanted to use up before. I'm trying to use all the yarn that I bought last year up so I don't, like, it doesn't sit in my stash and languish. I actually want to use it all, but it's languishing, I think. It's going to have to languish, and that's okay. So yeah, I have the rumble raglan neckline done, but I probably will frog it, so I'm not going to show it to you, and that's okay. Okay, next up, I don't know if you remember my Beads of Joy top that I was working on all last spring, but I was doing, it was Spincycle, and it broke my little heart because I lost the back panel when I had like literally one more section to do. I was finished and I completely lost like the bag. I have no idea where it is. I think it'll pop up somewhere, but yeah, it just broke my heart. So I had to like leave that and like run away from it. But to, I guess, to balm my aching bones here, I cast on a Sungazer by James & Watts. It's the same designer. And I'm also using Spincycle. So here is what it looks like so far. It's been a really quick knit. It's much easier, surprisingly, than the Beads of Joy. There's no decreases. It's just like all increases. Work from the middle. I think it'll look awesome when it's finished. But yeah, it's been so fun. I think I could knit it the whole thing in like a week if I wanted to. It's just so potato chippy. It's like potato chippy because each section is easy to complete, and then on top of that you have the color gradient, so like you really want to see the changes when they happen. Yeah, I'm very invested in this. I think it's gonna look so cute when it's finished. Ah, look at her. So cutie pie. I saw my friend Natasha do the Spincycle yarn first. And yeah, so this is my second attempt to make a, oh shoot, what's it called? Bisection. I don't know what it's called, but you know, section by section, pick up knit, pick up knit. But James has the pented pullover that just got released, so that's like another option, I guess, for the style of knitting this is that'll come to me eventually, but I can't think of it this very second. The color that I'm using, I'm gonna go find for you because I can't just talk about it. Yeah, so the color I'm using is Spincycle. Spincycle in Big Sky, which the name honestly is what drew it to me. I was like, Big Sky, that's a great name. And the colors are so fun. You got like an orange, a peach, there's like almost a gray. very cool colors and warm colors together, which is very interesting. But I bought all this Spincycle before I started like actually making handspun myself, and you know, I'm like, I could make that. But it looks great. Okay, so yeah, I've been sewing a lot as well recently. I've had a lot of time on my hands and I've wanted to sew garments for a long time. I'm interested in clothes that fit me, that are actually my style. I find that the brands that I like don't make things in my size, and they're also like maybe not the most ethical, and they're not the colors I want. Like I have very specific tastes, what I do and don't want for my clothes. And so at this point, it is completely true that sewing is not cheaper than buying clothes, but I think for the clothes that I want and the styles that I want and the colors that I want, the price is comparable if I make it myself. So, and it's a hobby, right? It's not supposed to be cheaper. God knows knitting a sweater is not cheaper than buying one. And it's okay. That's fine. Okay, so sewing. So I started off by sewing the Henrietta skirt. I made 3 of those, one for myself in like a white linen, one for Zoe in a green stripe, and then one for my buddy Kat in this nice woven thrifted fabric that I got. It's lovely. And she wore it and she was like, I want a matching top. So I took her favorite little summer top and then kind of like made another one with it. It looks really good on her. It's a sweet little set. So cheers to that. And then I used leftover of that woven fabric and I made Zoe, my partner, this like Ghani style top. So you can find these like a dime a dozen on Etsy. Just like a front tie top. She wears it so often. It smells like her. It's nice. But yeah, I made this for her for our anniversary. And yeah, she's wearing it a lot. The colors are awesome, hey? I love the colors. But I had about 5 meters of that, and if I had have known how expensive 5 meters of fabric was, I would have kept it and made a dress. But instead, I made 2 tops and a skirt, so cheers. And then I also made the same top for her in this like heavier woven fabric. I got this at a fabric swap with my friends. She wears this one less, but I just love it. I love the way it looks. I love the colors, and the fabric looks so cool up close. It's like quite textured. But yeah, I made it for myself and I was like, no, this is way more so than it is me. The next thing I made her for our anniversary was this side tie kind of quilted vest. Now I quilted the material, I don't know, like 5 years ago, and it was actually a pillow in our house, but the colors aren't really me. It's a gray, navy blue, yellow, and they're definitely more her colors. So it's got ties on the side. It's fully quilted. Yeah, and I'm really proud of it. So there's 3 things I made her. I also made her the Henrietta skirt in not thrifted fabric. That fabric we bought that. It was just like quilting cotton. It's just green stripes. It looks awesome on her. And then okay, so the last thing, maybe not the last thing. One of the last garments that I made for myself is my first garment for myself was a pair of jeans. That is a very ambitious thing to do. It was not, I did not do it alone. I had it with, my hand was being held on both sides by my friends during this crafting weekend we did. I was not alone. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm so proud of these. The button did fall off and I'm going to super glue it back on. Don't tell Esther. Esther is very by the book and she taught me how to do these jeans, and I feel like I would disrespect her if I told her I was going to glue the button back on. But don't tell her. But the button fell off. That's why it's not there. But these are the Adams pants from Daughter Judy, I believe. It is a hot pink denim from Blackbird Fabrics. This is like the really nice fabric I bought myself. I'm so happy with it. The pockets are really interesting. They're kind of darts, I guess, which I've never seen before. I hated making these. Okay, for the record, I dislike sewing. I don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable process for me. I don't have fun doing it. It's not a good time. It just is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I have to get the final product, whereas like I really enjoy knitting. I didn't realize I was a process knitter until I started sewing, because I was like, I fucking hate sewing. I really hate it. But knitting, sorry, I hate sewing. I hate it. So, but I like the finished product. So there you go. Like, I just gotta make the finished product, and that's okay. I'll be okay. So yeah, making these was a lot of work. I did not have fun, but I'm really proud of them. And I got, look at the fabric on the inside, the pockets. It's so cool that you can just like make fun pockets, and you can make whatever you want. And my friend Megan had a serger, not Megan, Esther had the serger. And look at the buttons, the fly buttons. Yeah, these pants are awesome. I wanted a pair of pink jeans. I made a pair of pink jeans, baby. Because you can just make stuff. That's what being an adult is. You can just like make whatever you want. It rocks. To be honest, it really rocks. You can just make whatever you want. Yeah, it's already pilling a little bit. Oh my god, it's pilling a lot more than I thought it would. I'm shocked at the pilling. Don't look too close. Proud of these. Fits me. They fit me so well. I feel, yeah, very proud of them. So yeah, I made a pair of jeans. It was not easy. I feel like I'm really flying through everything. I feel like I had a lot to share, and I didn't want to make a long video because I don't have the energy for it. So I was just like, I'm going to rapid fire this stuff. I'm just going to pump it out. And that's what we're doing. We're pumping it out. We're getting there. Okay, before I show you my finished knitting objects, I want to give some media recommendations. I can't show you naked sock flanks. Have to. Here we go. Here we go. Sock 1. Sock 2. Alright, cool. I've been reading. I've been reading a lot of books because I've been, you know, very busy. Yeah, so books that I've read in the last week. I love Storygraph. It does not load. My god. April. It looks like I've read 6 books in April. I read The Lost Hero, Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I hated that. So I started the Percy Jackson books again. I love them. I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. That was fine. It was a book. I didn't love it. I read I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shraya, which is like only an hour, so it doesn't really count as a book. I read A Quarter of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, and A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. And that was my favorite, Mandana? Mandana. It was my favorite book that I read this month. It was so sweet, 10 out of 10. Will read again. I hope another book comes out from this author about this family. I do love lighthearted nonfiction, especially when I'm making stuff. I'm also reading The Goodbye Cat right now. Oh my god, it's so sad, but so sweet. If you love cats, I would recommend. And I'm also reading Big Swiss by Jen Burgess. It is wild. It's a wild book. It's dark humor, and also, yeah, I think it's like a dark humor. That's kind of like but also kind of a drama. I really recommend it, but read the content warnings before first. But it's a wild ride. Like, yeah, you hate the main character, you don't like any other characters. I don't know, man. Well, I do know. I would recommend it. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild! I am looking at things, and I forgot to show you these. So I've been doing some quilting as well. The first thing is, on our Cape Breton trip, Megan taught us how to do paper piecing, like foundational paper piecing, not the English style. So this is the sweet little sleeping fox. He's having a rest. He's having a nap. And it was a really fidgety technique. And I'm so happy Megan was there to show me, because I would not have even attempted it without her. And it was really fun, and I feel confident doing it now, so I'm going to make another one. Kate had a really good idea and said that she's used in the past, like a piece like this in the inside of her coat. So I'm like, if I ever make a coat, the inside of a coat with that would be awesome. So there's that for sure. I don't think I can show you the full thing on camera here, but my quilt top is finished with all of the ones I showed you last time. I'm gonna put this finished object. I'm gonna move it really quick across the screen so you don't see. Oh, what is it? I don't know. You're gonna see later. Stay tuned. But yes, this quilt top is finished. It's not perfect, okay? But finished is better than perfect, okay? So we're rocking with, you can't see everything on the screen. But yeah, that's her. I'm so happy with this. It's the Star Adventure quilt from Then Came June. I love my little sawtooths. And it's gonna make a great quilt top for Zoe and I. I'm so proud of it. I love the gingham. I'm so proud of it. It is out of my budget, unfortunately, right now to get the batting for it and the backing. It's so expensive. It's so much fabric. So I'm waiting till next month so I can get the backing and the batting, and then I'm going to start hand quilting it. Very ambitious, I know. I'm hoping people will help me. I'm hoping my friends will help. I love to have friends to help me. So much. So yeah, great quilt. Love quilting, love colors. Hard to show on the podcast though, you know? Something else I'm doing is I'm prepping fiber for the spin thing that happens in July. You know the one. I'm prepping fiber for Tour de Fleece. Oh my god. My brain is really slow today. I took my reishi mushroom supplement and everything. So I'm prepping stuff. I did also my drum carder yesterday. It was just like a bunch of bats. I don't know if you remember the massive orange bat that used to hang there, but I hated it. So I spun it up with some other cute stuff, and it's going to look great when it's all spun up. Looking forward to it. Okay, finished objects. We're going to start with these socks, the Cider House socks. They took me 2 months to make a pair of socks because I hated the yarn, even though I know I'm going to wear the hell out of these. It's just like the things that you know you're going to wear a lot, you just... Yeah, they're cute, right? It's the Cider House socks by Summerlee Knits, and it's a Leo and Roxy sock set. There's some cables in there. You can't see them. We've talked about this. I know it was silly, but I wanted to make these socks with this yarn, so I did it, and I've been wearing them. Something else that you're going to see in, I think, pretty much every sock that I'm doing now is the different decrease. So I decrease a lot less on one side and a lot more on the other to accommodate my toes. I'm not going to tell you how to do that because I can't remember, to be honest with you. And a lot of it's guesswork. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll decrease here. It'll be fine. And it usually is. So let that be a lesson to us all. Very last thing I have to show you is my 5-pound sweater. My hand-spun sweater. It's finally finished. We did it. We did it. I'm so happy we did it. There's not an end sticking out. What are you talking about? I don't see ends. What ends? The means to what ends? There she is. That's her. This is the Harley sweater in my handspun and a random old woman's handspun and my buddy Natasha's little handspun in the corner. And yeah, I've been wearing it so much in the mornings. It's really hot in the afternoons, but at night it's cold, and so it's cold in the morning. I've been wearing this guy. I'm very proud of it. There's not a whole lot to say about it other than the fact that it is so heavy. It is a behemoth. People don't know what to make of it. They're shocked whenever they see it. I think they hate it. Okay, here's something we should all talk about more. You know when you're watching someone on YouTube, say, and you're like, hey man, I appreciate that you're making that. It's genuinely ugly. I want you to know that I know this is ugly, okay? I just want you to know that I know. And you're sitting at home and you're like, hey man, I don't think so. It's pretty ugly. I know, but I like it, okay? And so that's a lesson for me. So when I'm sitting at home in my house and I'm like, hey man, with love, I love you. That's ugly. When I'm sitting there at home and saying that to people on my screen, maybe they know as well and they don't care. So I know this is a lot and it's pretty violent. It's like a violent assault on the eye, but I love it, to be honest. And I I love that it's a little ugly. I'm really proud of it. And it's so weird. I think I would make it again. Yeah, it's just like such a weird sweater. And it might not all go together. But God, it's fun. Party, you know? It's a party. We're doing it. It took forever. Oh, not even, actually, you know what? It took a lot less time than I thought it would take. I started it in October? November. And it's April, so it's 5 months for the biggest project I've ever done. It's pretty good. The fit is better than I thought it would have been as well. It's not great because it's a bulky weight handspun sweater. But it's better than it could have been. That's for sure. And yeah, I've been wearing it a lot. And it makes me really, really happy. I'm really proud of it. So yeah, I think that brings us to the end of our time together. If you made it this far, you are a rock star. And yeah, I love you. I mean it. And I hope the rest of your day is really good. Hope you have like a nice couple of whatevers. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.